Hello, hello. I'm Nicole Michelle, founder and oh god goodness. Let me fix my phone for the YouTube live because it's saying my camera's messed up. I'm trying to simulcast, so um we'll see how I'm doing that because I'm not technically proficient. So this is going to be a challenge for me to try to do this and broadcast from YouTube, from Facebook at the same time. So thanks everybody that's joining me, and everybody that's joining me live, and everybody that's on the broadcast, the rebroadcast. Thank you so much for your patience as I try to get this together. So this live is about educated sisters. And this is a busy day, so I wanted to get in and get out real quick. How is the camera looking? Because this is my first time doing this from YouTube like this, so you guys have to work with me, and if it's too horrible, I'll delete it, because you know I have to have it right. Just give me a second while I set this up, please. Thank you so much for your patience. For those of you joining me live that do not know who I am Nicole Michelle, founder and femininity influencer for the Inner Beauty Movement. And hopefully this sits right. We're going to try this up, and it's not. I have two camera pods, and so we're going to try this again. And the problem is I lost my best pod. I lost it, so I'm really having to hope that this doesn't fall to the ground. So y'all pray. But those of you on Facebook, I'm probably gonna not keep this up long. You're gonna have to go to my YouTube. I was trying to accommodate everybody, but this isn't gonna work, and I'm not gonna risk messing up my cameras to try to do this. I'm just not gonna do that. So yeah, and my pod is flimsy, so you're just gonna have to go to YouTube. Because if I feel like it's getting ready to not do right, it's just gonna have to be lopsided. Facebook. My main focus is YouTube. I have to have this looking right. So the moment I feel y'all this camera tripping, I'm gonna drop you on site. Sorry, but if you want to make sure you catch everything, catch me on YouTube, okay? But anyway, I did wanted to address the family regarding the educated black woman and how she's unattractive. And I know that would get a lot of people riled and upset. Thank you, Devin, for following directions for going to YouTube. I appreciate you. That's why you're a feminine elite. Thank you. It's a beautiful day in Zamunda or Wakanda, whatever we calling it now. And so I'm excited to address the fam today. I let the trolls kind of run amok the last couple days because I've been busy creating content. So hey Gabe, what's going on? So I haven't been able to really monitor my page like that, and quite frankly, I'm not going to continue arguing with women who want to stay masculine energy. I just can't. I just absolutely cannot. I have to keep this feminine energy for the ladies who want it, who are genuinely curious about it, who are really authentic and genuine about beginning their feminine journey. I'm very, very, very understanding that our society really does not push femininity, and I understand that for a lot of women these are new concepts and they've never heard it said to them like this. I don't. I can go back and try to fix the volume. I don't know. How's the volume, everybody, on YouTube? Um, just let me know how that is. I don't get a low volume indication on here anyway. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna rely on my mods to let me know what's good. All right. But if you want to join the chat is always lit on YouTube. So, like I said, Facebook is liable to go down at any moment when I see my pod is acting flimsy. All right. So, anyway, I wanted to go into detail what I meant by educated women are unattractive, and I don't mean in terms of looks because I know that's where a lot of women took it. They immediately jumped to their emotions, meaning that's what I was talking about. Um, but a lot of women come to me and they state that they are interested in being married and they want to be wives and um, but a lot of sisters are saying one thing and doing another, and they don't realize that that's what they're doing. So I wanted to address the fam because a lot of sisters are arguing with me for the right to remain workhorses and make a lot of money for the boss. So I'm going to go through every excuse that has been thrown at me in the last 48 hours in regards to why they should stay in the workforce, why they have to stay in the workforce, why they feel they need to be in the workforce. I'm going to try to debunk a lot of those arguments. And if you're on YouTube, feel free to um, shout out some comments and things like that because my focal point is YouTube, not Facebook. So if I seem like I'm really focused at YouTube here. So let's talk about what husbands or future husbands or men are looking for in wives. This is important because it's just like going shopping for a car. You don't really know exactly what kind of car you may want to purchase. Like you have it in your mind, but you may not know exactly what car you're going to get. You just go and you shop and you test drive and you try different things out until you find the car that fits you, your budget. It's the right color, it's the right size, the right mileage, fuel per mileage, that sort of thing. You start weighing all your options on a logical basis, right? You don't shop off emotion. You don't buy a car off emotion. A lot of people have the money to buy a Mercedes, but logically, it's a lot of upkeep, it's a lot of money, things like that. So on paper, they may be able to afford it, but an emotional purchase would actually put them in debt, okay? So when you look at how men choose wives, you have to look at it that way. That men choose wives logically, not with emotion. If men chose wives emotionally, a lot of men would have been married years ago, or they would have married their high school sweetheart or something like that. Men choose wives logically. Now, yes, there is some emotion there. Um, yes, his feelings do come into account because we live in a Western society where romance and love and all of that, where we hear Puccini in our heads when we kiss and all that type of stuff. We romanticize all relationships and all of those things. But the reality of it is that doesn't motivate a man to choose that particular woman that he's hearing all of things in his head and he's daydreaming about her and all of those things don't motivate him to actually put a ring on it. He makes a logical decision to put a ring on it in addition to the feelings. And oftentimes, well, I won't go there. What happens when it's all logical? I won't go there. But I will say that in conjunction with his feelings, he chooses a wife with logic. So a lot of women don't get that part. They think that men choose choose wives all on feelings. And this is where we miss out because a lot of women will sleep with a man, give a man her all, babies, that sort of thing, and pretend to be his wife because she thinks that if I tap into his emotions on the surface, that this should be enough to motivate him to marry me. And we know that is not to be true. I've said this over and over and over and over. It does not motivate a man to marry you. Okay. All right. So what does make a man want to marry you? So here are some things that I'm just going to go over. And those of you in my chat room, if you guys want to be like, no, she's lying, that's not what we do, feel free. Uh, how you doing? And if you agree, then like and subscribe, please. Thank you. But one of the things that masculine men look for, all right, these are men that women say they want. Why? I'm not going to do a video on men that women don't want, okay? I'm going to do a video on what women say they want. They want a man to step up. He's God-fearing, and um, a lot of women say they want God-fearing, okay? Um, they want him to have a good job or a career or be financially stable. And they want him to be educated, not necessarily, but they want him to be a thug in a suit. Like, she wants to feel safe in his presence, and she wants him to provide and protect. All right. So, that's what women say they want. But what do men, quality masculine men, say they want? See, we focus a lot on what women say what they want, but we kind of ignore what those men would actually want. Those men actually want a masculine man who's doing all of that, who's providing and protecting. He wants a feminine woman who will let him lead, who's not going to challenge him when he makes a decision. She is there as a helpmate, and he's not this authoritative figure that is this controlling being, this hyper masculine, controlling, abusive figure that is just rules with an iron fist. That's not a masculine man. He actually looks to his woman for intelligent counsel, and he does, in fact, honor her input and her suggestions and her opinion. He absolutely wants a smart woman that can give him good counsel and advice. But at the end of the day, because he's a leader, because he's masculine, he will then take all of the information and advice that he's gotten, accumulate it, and he will make a decision on what he's going to do. And that's not to say that her input is less than his, but as in everything, there has to be the head honcho. And in a marriage, the husband is the lead. What we find out is that a lot of marriages, the husband is the co-pilot, or he's not in the lead, and then we have problems. But we'll come back to that. So, because he's a masculine man, he does look for a smart woman. She doesn't have to be a brainiac or a nerd or, a high IQ. Okay, let's just be honest. She doesn't, especially if she's pretty. Fellas, I'm telling the truth. She doesn't have to be that smart. She just has to be cooperative. So, we have cooperative. We have willing. She has to be feminine, willing to submit to his leadership. She has to trust him, which you can't submit to a man's leadership if you don't trust him. So you absolutely have to have trust. And she must maintain her attractiveness to the best of her ability. Now, there are extenuating circumstances why a woman wouldn't maintain her attractiveness, like she's 25. We know this age, weight gain, things like that. A lot of that stuff can be helped by good nutrition and working out, that sort of thing. And there are tons of people that can help women stay in shape. So we're not going to use those excuses. But nevertheless, men want an attractive woman. They don't want to wake up to a donkey. They want a beautiful woman that's beautiful to him, that gets him hot. Okay, I have to keep culture. It's Sunday. I don't want any emails from the saints. That gets him hot. He wants a woman that he's sexually attracted to. All right. So now that we understand that, that's not a long list, is it, ladies? Is it? Is that a long list? No. Did I mention anywhere in that list that she had to be educated? Did I mention anywhere in that list that she had to go to an Ivy League school? Did I mention anywhere in that list that she had to be a corporate exec, or she had to have a career, or she had to be the boss chick or diva chick, or did I mention any of that in what I just said? No. All right, so now that we know what men who are looking for wives actually are looking for, now we can kind of backtrack and help sisters understand why they are unattractive. And a lot of women, a lot of sisters, thanks to second wave feminism, a lot of sisters rely on education and their career, and they lead with that. When they are in front of a thorough brother, he has his mind right, his money right, his life right, they lead with, well, I have a degree in such and such and such, and I have this and I have that, and he's completely turned off. He's already put her into a pile with all the other educated black women. Why do I say that? Because masculine men are looking for women who can nurture and who actually prioritize family. So when you lead with your degrees and your education and your career and what you're doing, and I'm flying here and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, you sound busy, you sound overworked, you don't sound like you have a man anywhere in that schedule, like you can fit a man anywhere into that schedule. So men, if you're a man and you're listening to this, listen, you already have your list of what you want from your wife. You really want her to be kind of domesticated because you're out there providing and protecting, right? So you kind of want her to have some domestic skills, okay? And even if she's not the best cook, she can whip it up and make it taste good enough for you, okay? It's good. Like, you know, you can go to mama's house on Sunday, the rest of the days you good because you love her, right? And she's trying. Brothers will kind of, you don't have to be Betty Crocker or Patti LaBelle in the kitchen for a lot of brothers. They just want you to get in there and try and get something edible that he's not going to throw up or choke on. Or, you know, he doesn't want everything Cajun style. You feel me? Just try. Get it edible. Put it on the table. Right? He doesn't want Chick-fil-A and McDonald's every night because you're too busy. That's all brothers are asking for. So when you come with, yes, you know, I'm a busy exec, and let's just be honest, a lot of sisters are not busy execs. This is the narrative that the society wants to push, that sisters are just in the boardroom and they just pushing briefcases and stop it, cut it out. A lot of sisters are making about 40 to 60, and a lot of them, there are some sisters that's successful, but on the vast majority of them are not because they have children, they have student loan debt, they have all of that stuff that's subtracting from their income. So when a brother says, when he hears you focusing, hyper focusing on education and your job, he doesn't hear, okay, so when is she going to make time for me and the children we may have? So that sounds like I'm going to be on the back burner. And in his mind, if he's really serious about a wife, he's really pushing you back towards the other pile with the other chicks who are just like you. They're just like you. You're all the same. Like, I hear a lot of women say, oh, you know, he's a suit and tie brother. I know he likes white girls. Or he's a professional guy. I know he's a player. No, he just has standards. And he's not afraid to say, this is what I want. He's not afraid to walk away from your big booty and your weave and tell you no. He's not afraid to say, I'll pass on you. And a lot of sisters' egos are hurt because these brothers actually have standards and they're saying no. Now, in the meantime, what you see is him running through that whole pile of women that he threw to the side. He's running through that pile. Well, who can I call tonight for something, you know, easy? He's running through that pile. And a lot of you end up in that pile. And then you chalk it up to black successful men. They don't want relationships or commitment, and they're not serious. And no, that's not what it is. You're just in that pile. You're in that pile, and you don't realize it. So now it looks to you like he doesn't want a relationship. He does. It's just not with you. And I don't know how else to put that to my sisters, but when you lead with non-wife material attributes, there's only one pile you can go in. If you lead with, well, I want a masculine man to protect and provide for me, so I'm willing to be a feminine wife with high integrity. I want to be loyal. You know, when he comes home, I'm going to have my signature outfit on. I'm going to have my hair done. I'm going to have a meal cooked. The kids are going to be dressed. You know, I've, already checked the computer to see how much money I made from my passive income that I have, my business that I'm running from home. I worked out today. I'm still, I'm maintaining my shape because I have time to work out. I'm not overworked. When he comes home, I'm not all, well, I worked 8 hours just like you. No, it's, hey, baby, how was your day? And I'm open to listen to him because I'm not all overworked from competing in masculine energy all day. And I'm actually a pleasant feminine being for him to come home. He's not driving around the neighborhood 2 or 3 times to decompress and get himself mentally prepared to walk in the door and deal with me. No, he doesn't, because he knows he's going to come home to a fine wife who's beautiful and sexy and sweet, and she has her family as number one. I'm just telling you what men fantasize about, and they have fantasies too. They have ideas about what they want too. Now, can an educated woman pull that off? She absolutely can. Am I saying that she should skip college and just focus on marriage? No. And a lot of women took it there, and I'm going to deal with that too, because you're really in your feelings, and that's not what my post said or even implied. But you took it there because your defenses are up. So I'm going to deal with that. A college educated woman can absolutely pull that off. She can absolutely have a business working from home. Why can't she work from home? Who says she has to go to an office and leave 4 hours on end and leave her home? Who said that? Why can't she work her business from home? And in my movement, I'm just giving women other options besides working a corporate gig and making their boss happy. Because, see, their boss's wife is actually, what she's doing now is she's preparing for tomorrow. And so tomorrow, while you're in traffic, in rush hour traffic, she's going to be getting her kids off to school, kissing her husband. She's going to be getting her list of things she needs to do for the day. Then she's going to go work out and do all the little things around the house she needs to do. She's going to check her little business if she has a business. I'm not saying you have to have a business if you're a stay-at-home mom, but maybe maybe you and your husband need the extra money, so you have a passive income business, and you've checked it. You made a little money. So you go get your hair, your nails done. You're not going to do this every day, but you're going to fit that into your schedule. You're going to keep the house clean. And then when your husband is home or when your kids need you, you're available for the children. And because they've been around other people all day, so now they need a parent to be there when they get out of school, help them, guide them with their homework, pick them up from soccer practice, football practice, cheerleading practice, whatever. And she's available. There's a parent there. And when the husband comes home, she's there. She's prepared. Dinner is on the stove. There's no fast food. Everybody's not overweight and sick from eating out all the time. Mommy's there. And she has contributed to the family pot because she has a passive income business. What's wrong with that? I have women who argue with me all day since Friday about why they should stay in the workforce, why they continue to be workhorses. Listen, this movement isn't for you. Like, if that's what you want to do, then so be it. My movement is for women who, I'm not saying that every woman should be a stay-at-home wife or a stay-at-home mother. I'm giving you options. Because a lot of you sisters are tired, you're frustrated, you're sick, you're mad, talking about men need to step up. And I'm telling you how to get that, how to get it all, how to have it all. How to have the masculine man in your life stepping up, doing what he needs to do. He's already stepped up. When he stepped to you, he's already in that vein. And I'm showing you how to get that. I'm giving you an alternative, other options besides uh, just having a job and working, because a lot of American women are failing at balancing work and home. They're failing. They're failing. The divorce rate is reflecting that. So, all I'm trying to do is give women an alternative. So, let me debunk some of these myths, that arguments that women throw at me about why they should stay in the workforce, why they want to remain masculine energy, for God's sakes, um, why they want to be workhorses, and even the married women who reach out to me or who have second thoughts about whether they want to follow this movement. It's not just for single women. Married women can get in touch with their feminine core too. A lot of you are in marriages where you're feeling distant and you don't know why he's pulling away. A lot of that has to do with you and your masculine energy, and you may not even realize it. All right, so let me go back to this. Let me just ask a question to all the ladies who argue with me. Um, if you're so happy in corporate America at your job, then why are you arguing with me about femininity if you're so happy? I don't understand that. I really don't get that, because people who are happy generally don't get online and argue for hours and hours and hours. The housewives and the stay-at-home moms that come on my page are actually happy. They go, I don't even understand why people are so upset. This is a great idea. I couldn't even imagine being in corporate America right now. Right now I'm fixing a meal for my husband and my children, and I just couldn't imagine going to work and competing all day and competing in my masculine energy with men all day. I just couldn't imagine. They're happy. They don't have time for this crap that the masculine energy brings to the table. Happy housewives and stay-at-home moms don't argue. They are happy with their masculine providing, the masculine man providing and protecting. They are happy. That beats going to corporate America any day. I had a young woman in my healing group. She said, I asked them, what are your fears about being a stay-at-home wife or a housewife? And one young woman, she said, my fear is that people are going to make fun of me because I'm a stay-at-home wife. And I said, I experienced that. I totally understand that. We don't live in a society that really supports women who put their family first. And I fell victim to that. So I kind of understand that. And I told her, you know what? We live in a society where we seek people's approval. And those women are actually jealous of you because you actually have a masculine man in the house providing for you, protecting for you. You don't have to work hard except at the house. That's about as hard of a work you're gonna ever have, is at the house. Making sure the house is clean, making sure that the family's needs are met, and being a feminine woman. Women who work every day, who work hard, who work themselves to the bone to make sure their mortgages are paid and to help their husbands out, are actually jealous of you. So they tease you and make you feel bad, as if your worth is wrapped up in a degree. Because feminist society has told women that their worth is wrapped up in a college degree. How many degrees do you have? What is your career? Well, how many names or abbreviations do you have behind your name? That makes you important. How many conferences have you run? How many people do you lead? That makes you worthy. No, what makes you worthy is you're a feminine woman, that you are proud to be a housewife. You're proud to love your husband. You're proud to love your children. We need more black women like that. We do. We need more black women that are focused on that. And I know what you're going to say. Well, where are the men that are providers and protectors? I gotcha. I'm going to get to that. A lot of women fight this because they've never really had a father in the home. So let's go back to the beginning. Because I don't hear a lot of women that were raised in a two-parent home that was even half decent. I don't hear them complaining about finding a masculine man. Where are the masculine men? And if I get feminine, where are the masculine men going to be? I don't hear that. I don't hear them have this severe fear of being feminine and having a masculine man providing protect. I don't see that fear. I don't see it. Like maybe there's a little bit, but I don't see it like consuming their lives. Like it's just like a regular fear. It's not consuming their every thought. Like, oh my God, the where are the masculine men? I don't hear that from men, from women raised in two parent homes. I don't. Even if their dad was, somewhat a little passive compared to their mom was domineering. Even still, they're not they don't let that fear consume them as much as women that didn't have any father or any male figure in the house. A lot of women, their moms had turnstiles in the bedroom, so they never really saw a consistent male figure in the home. So the fear of having one man in the house providing and protecting scares un, that is uncharted territory. They've never seen it. They've never had it. They've never had women in their family experience it. So to sit up here and say, be a housewife and be a stay-at-home mom and actually not have a job and depend on a man, they look at it as a trap, like it's prison, like it's got to be a catch. He's gonna abuse me. That's dysfunction, sis. That's dysfunction. That's dysfunction. Growing up without a father is actually dysfunction. And as black people move back towards family, we'll see how we got to move away from that. That was dysfunction, and we didn't know it. That doesn't mean that you're not deserving of love. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means that in our society, in our community, we have a lot of dysfunction. We have to unprogram a lot of the thinking we've been doing. That's all that means. So we have to start thinking in terms of family. And a lot of sisters are not thinking in terms of family because, quite frankly, they've never seen it. So fair enough. Fair enough. I understand their fears. Unfortunately, you have no fears when it comes to having kids and raising them alone. That doesn't scare you enough? That doesn't scare you that we have a president who is just waiting for the opportunity to cut slash stuff. He's going to cut, it's going to come, and that doesn't scare you that you're going to have to take care of your kids by yourself? That doesn't scare you? At what's scarier? Trying to be married, trying to have a man in the house that cares about you, that is just trying to be married, trying to have your children in a two-parent home, or just braving it anyway. We just gonna have a baby by a random, and we just gonna try it by ourselves anyway. We got to have mama, grandma, the taxpayers, everybody got to help you raise your kid. That's not scary to you? I mean, really? So it doesn't scare you right now because you have the government and a lot of subsidies helping you, and you have people making excuses for you, and you have society that kind of pushes you and raises you up to this false pedestal when they really laugh at you behind your back. After you leave these offices and apply for these services, they laugh at you, sis. They laugh at you. That's not scary to you? You don't have any pride, any dignity? But when you have a husband in the house, you don't have to go begging for milk. Because you like, honey, the milk is low. What you gonna do? Did you see the freezer? You don't even have to tell him that the freezer's low. He's like, let me take on some few more hours at work because the freezer's kind of low. You don't have to tell a masculine man the freezer is low. You don't have to tell him that the baby running out of milk because he's going to get on it. See, a lot of you messing with these dusties, and you got to constantly tell them, take out the trash, empty the, you got to constantly tell them to clean up. You got to constantly tell, are you going to work today? See, that's what you're dealing with. A quality masculine man, you don't have to tell him to get up and work. He was working before he met you. He already had some business before he met you. His life was on track before he met you. Now, I'm going to get to why women run away from those guys in just 1 second. And a lot of you saw your mom doing everything. So in your mind, you have uh, internalized that to mean I'm supposed to do everything. So a man is an accessory. I'm supposed to get out here and do that because mom was the breadwinner, she was the nurturer, she was the man, she was the woman, she was everything, she was the father, the mother, and all of that. So that's all you know is mom does everything. So in your mind, I have to do everything. So this concept of being a housewife and a stay-at-home mom and marrying a masculine man that provides and protects for you, all of that is crap to you because you're like, who is this woman telling me that I have a other option besides working? Because you've never seen it. All right, and that's understandable. All I'm saying with this movement as is there are other options besides being a workhorse. That's what I'm trying to introduce to you because the feminist agenda is not going to tell you that. They're going to want you to stay out there, be a high price consumer, spend all your money, stay in debt. You have a bad credit score because of your loans, and then if you go and have kids, now you have student loan debt and kids. But then you want men to love your total package. I'll come back to that. All right. Not only that, a lot of you are not used to receiving. You're used to giving. As a feminine woman, and I'm going to do a whole series about this soon, because I have a whole lot of series I need to do. I see that now. But if you haven't taken my femininity course, you're not going to understand this. But a lot of feminine women, they understand that they are receivers, but they're also givers. But they give within the confines of femininity. They don't give to replace a masculine man in her life or the masculine energy. They give in terms of nurturing, in terms of support, in terms of love, warmth. That's how feminine women give. We give things that cannot be replaced. See, I have women trolling me now on YouTube. Like, they're trolling me now. They actually hate my guts because I'm not telling black women to get out here and work. That's amazing. That is amazing. Wow. Demonic forces is real. Thank you, mods. You guys are on it. um, but masculine men are givers. They are protectors. They are providers. They give. They give to their loved ones. All right. They give to the woman that has proven to be her the man that she's proven herself to be that woman that he can put his trust in. So he doesn't mind giving to her. See, that's a misconception that men don't want to give. That's because that's your experience. But when you're a feminine woman, you constantly are around women, or I'm sorry, you're constantly around men who want to give. All right, you're constantly around that. So if you're not constantly around men who want to give to you other than just sex, but they actually want to give in terms of making you happy, then you need to get into my femininity course. And I'm not talking about simps, and I'm not talking about men that just want sex. I'm talking about quality masculine men who want to be a provider and protector for a quality woman and marry her. I'm talking about that. If you don't have men in your life that are willing to do that at some point, you need to take my course. That's not them, boo. That's you. Because you are the common denominator. That's why you keep meeting the same dude. I have people trolling me right now. Are you talking about quality men? But I don't waste time talking about dusties. I don't. The only men I talk about are quality masculine men. I don't. I don't have time to talk about dusties and losers and lames and lazy men. I don't do that. I don't know, maybe on your channel you do, but I don't do that here. The only men I waste my breath talking about are quality masculine men. And the only men that I allow in my space are quality masculine men. You'll never see me with a weak man. Ever. And you know, if I finally get remarried, you'll know he's that dude. Because he won't be weak. He won't be weak. He will not be a beta male. I assure you of that. And that's why I'm still single, because I can wait. I don't have to rush. I'm not desperate. I'm not seeking status. I can wait for that man. He's worth waiting for. And a lot of you get ahead of yourself and you think, well, I parted my legs, so he should wife me. No, you skipped a whole lot of steps. And that's why you mad and trolling me. But I got you. I got you. So a lot of you are not used to receiving love from a man. You're not used to receiving caring from a man, that he generally cares for you. You're not used to that. You're used to the dusties and the skinny jean wearing dudes on your block who fill you up with a bunch of smoke. I'm not talking about that. And if that's all that you can relate to, that's your only frame of reference, sis, is you. Okay? Because a feminine woman is going to naturally attract. And I don't understand women in their 20s still talking about the only dudes I attract are betas. Now, I do understand the millennials have a hard time. Y'all have it rough. Y'all got it rough. Both sides, the females and the men. I've seen it. You guys have it rough. But as a woman in her 20s, you still should be able to pull a decent quality masculine man if you're half decent looking. And I mean half decent looking, and you are feminine and you're cooperative, you should be able to get a ring. So if you're in your 20s and you still don't have a ring, and you're not ugly, you need to take my course, like today. Go ahead, click the link, and go ahead and sign up. Don't even argue. Just do it. Just do it. All right? A lot of women that stay in the workforce for years and years, they get diseases, they get depression, they're sad, they're lonely. They go on girls' trips to accommodate for that, to compensate for that they're missing, that they're lonely, they're missing that masculine energy in their lives. They have too much testosterone because they've been competing. They compete for 8 to 10 hours a day. That's what they do. They compete. And all they do is stay in the workforce, and they compete constantly. So after years of this, the body adjusts and you develop more testosterone. And that's why a lot of women want to really rip my head off right now. Because that energy, that masculine energy, is really upset at the fact that a woman doesn't have to be like that. That there's another alternative. They feel so closed in and boxed in to their lifestyle that the mere fact that there's a woman talking about you really don't have to live like that, they want to rip my head off. That's why I will never go anywhere without security, because I know they will try to jump on me. All that masculine energy, all that manly energy, they just want to jump. They are trolling me right now because you're so mad. Oh, you're casting spells and you're talking word curses that won't land on me. They'll just go back to you because I'm prayed up. I know you're upset. And I'm not trying to upset you. I'm just trying to wake you up. Those of you that want to, wake you up and expose you to another alternative besides working your life to the bone and being a cat lady and a dog lady. And taking girls trips by yourself or with your girls to compensate for the fact that you don't really have a man to go on these trips with. And if you go on a trip with a man, it's just somebody that you're smashing. It's not your man. I'm trying to give you an alternative, but what you're going to do is you're going to argue, because that's what masculine energy does. It argues. It wants to dominate. It wants to force. That's what it does. You want to win. Masculine energy wants to win, and you want to win. You want to beat me. You want to punch my face in, because that's what you feel right now. You feel like, oh, I know it. I know. And that's that masculine energy that's built up inside you. And I'm trying to tell you, you don't even have to live like that. That's not even normal. You're sick. You're in debt. You're depressed. Lonely. And I'm telling you, as a feminine woman, even if you don't get married, even if you decide to stay single, as a feminine woman, you still live a better life, because your body is naturally less wound up. You're less competitive. It's less testosterone going on. A lot of times women rely on their educational achievements and career achievements because that is a defense mechanism, because they really aren't prepared to be wives. Can I just be honest? They're not prepared emotionally, and uh, they are emotionally closed off, emotionally unavailable. They are not ready to be wives. They don't want to be submissive. That word submissive is actually a cuss word. When they hear the word submissive, they start, ugh, this is literally how they start acting, because the idea of being submissive to a man is just, oh my God. Oh my God, it's like, put a cross in the middle of their head. Calm down, calm down, calm down. I just said submissive. That's how they act. It's just how they act, because they're not they're not in their feminine energy. Fellas, there's always this litmus test you can use on a woman. If you mention the word submissive and she start bucking and doing all this, just understand she got a ways to go, and beware. And they'll try to cover it up and say, well, I'm only submissive to a man that's leading. If you have to say that, you aren't. Because feminine women can, in our minds, we can X out the men who do not qualify. If we see that they're not providers and protectors, we don't have to go around talking about, I'm not going to be submissive to him, because we don't have to say that. It's just, he'll see that we're rejecting him. He'll see that he's not getting any further. He's not having any success with us. That means we haven't chosen him. We've rejected him. That he'll know, he'll figure it out. But we don't go around talking about why I'm only going to be submissive for a man. That we don't have to say that. It's a given. As a feminine woman, it's a given. And a masculine man knows that. That's why their energies are magnetic to one another. They don't have to send out this. It's like a dog whistle. It's like a feminine woman in a room full of masculine energy. They're going to naturally gravitate to her, no matter how she looks. Well, I take that back. She has to be attractive, but they will pick up on her energy. And even if she's not attractive, I mean, they will still enjoy her company. Even if they don't want to be in a relationship with her, they'll still enjoy her company above the sexy woman, because that feminine energy is what lacks in a masculine man's life. It cannot be replicated. That's why you have so many transgender people trying to replicate femininity. You can't. You can't. Good luck. You try to put on heels and a skirt and a purse. You can't, because it's more to femininity than just a skirt and heels. That's why a lot of people get duped by these women, because they look feminine, but they're not. You get them home and they turn into Chucky's bride. That's not what femininity is, okay? All right, so enough of that. A lot of women have lack of intimacy. They have checked out emotionally because of childhood traumas. A lot of sisters are walking around with wounds on the heart from childhood, and every relationship they get into will fail because they refuse to get emotional healing. They have emotionally closed themselves off. Okay, and they cannot emotionally attach to a man. Their walls are up for whatever reason. Whatever happened in their childhood, their walls are up. They cannot connect to a man. Listen, ladies, you want to know how to get a man to want to commit to you over the plethora of women that he may have options to be with, is the woman that has her walls down long enough for him to get to know her. She's open for love. She doesn't, I'm not gonna do this, and ain't no man gonna do me like. See, right then and there, you've put yourself in that pile, because no man is gonna sit there and kick through all of that all the time. Nobody. Who has time for that? Have you ever dated a man? You're calling him, you're texting him, you're trying to make headway and make him realize that you're a good girl, and he's just like, okay, just, it falls on deaf ears, and then finally you give in. Okay, brothers aren't doing that. Men aren't going to do that. That's just not how it is. Masculine men are not built to sit there and be a therapist for you, be your daddy. That's not how they're built. They don't want to do that. Some of them don't even have the capacity to do that. When they're ready for a wife, they need you to be ready. They don't need to sit there and wait 6 months for you to go and work through. That Tyler Perry stuff is just that. It's a movie. It's a movie to get you all warm and fuzzy inside. That's not reality. Now, beta males will sit there, and simps will sit there on the couch and rub your hair and rub the side of your breast and all that. Yeah, because they're hoping to get into your drawers. Masculine men can give or take you. Like, it's like, okay, what is 10 of her? So what is she bringing to the table? If you're still trying to work through stuff, when you meet the brother, he's going to do one or two things. She's not ready, or we can be friends, and you'll see him marry someone else. And you go, that's why, because he ran into a wall, and no man wants to keep banging himself up against your walls. Nobody wants to do, well, not your emotional walls. They don't want to keep doing that, okay? All right? They want you to come emotionally healed. That's your job as a feminine woman, to be emotionally healed. That's why a lot of sisters are running from thorough brothers, because their walls are up, they're not ready emotionally, and that thorough brother scares the living daylights out of them, because they know that once he gets in that heart, it's a risk. It's a risk. He might break her heart, and that's scary. But you know what? You'll never get what you really want without risking anything. Right? That life's a risk. Nothing in life is guaranteed. Nothing in life is guaranteed. The only thing you can do as a feminine woman is prepare and learn how to choose the best man. That's the best you can do. After that, it's kind of, it is what it is, right? A lot of you don't even know how to do that. And you blame everything on men. It's their fault, it's their fault, it's their fault. How about you chose the wrong man? Now, I'm only dealing with sisters right here. I don't deal with brothers. I mean, I fuss at y'all every now and then, but my focus is women. So it does sound like I'm really going in on women, but because I'm supposed to be going in on you. I'm not, my job is not to teach men. There are people out here teaching men. And you need to be careful who's teaching them, because right now they're teaching them to avoid a lot of women like you who are emotionally unavailable, who are educated, and you throwing your education around in his face. They're telling them to avoid women like that because you're going to be a headache. That's what they're telling them. That's not me. That is them. Men are forming groups underground on social media and everywhere else telling them to avoid women like you. And I'm just saying. So you can fight me, or you can be ahead of the curve and become a feminine woman and not lose. Because when they cut all these government subsidies and things helping these women out with these kids, what's going to happen is you're going to see a lot of women go into desperate mode. And if you thought Backpage was bad, wait till your beloved president, I'm being sarcastic, wait till he makes some cuts. And when he makes those cuts and you're not able to just have babies and just get subsidies for milk and WIC and SNAP and all that other stuff, food stamps and all that, when that gets cut, you're not able to go get Section 8 in a house and all of the things that a man is supposed to provide for you. When White Zaddy cuts that stuff, you're going to see a lot of women go into survival mode, and they're going to run to me and try to learn how to be feminine because they think it's a gimmick, or they're going to go into hoe mode. And hoe mode means I'll do whatever I can to get what I need. You're going to see a lot. If you thought Backpage was bad, when the cuts come, you're going to see a lot of humility. A lot of sisters being humble, and a lot of them will not stop and take the time to heal and become a good woman because it's just not in them. So what they'll do is they'll really turn up that hoe dial, and they'll really jazz that up and become the best hoe out here in these streets that they can be. Oh yeah, the strip clubs. Oh my God. Well, I live in Atlanta, so this is already the strip club capital. I don't know what else. The clubs are already packed here. I mean, they have strip parties and all kinds of stuff. So Atlanta's kind of saturated with the strip things, but trust and believe, all these little sleepy towns, they're gonna have tons of strip clubs because women are gonna run out of options, and a lot of men are gonna stop subsidizing their whole lifestyle. They're gonna be like, no, 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 no. They're already overloaded here. And what men are doing is they're waking up and they're saying, you know what? We have standards. All right, escorting. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot of that. All right. A lot of women flat out just don't want to be domestic. They don't want to see about a house. They don't want to see about kids. That's boring. Ugh. Who wants just no woman just wants attention from one man. They want attention from all the men on uh Instagram. They want their booty tooted up for all the men to see, not just one. Okay, yeah, he provides and protects, but so what? I want men all over the world to see my butt crack. That's what I want. That's what women want. And the fact that they don't want to be with one man that provides and protects for them lets you know they're not wife material. They want attention from more than one man. See, it's not, and a lot of them, it's not that they don't want to be married, it's just that they don't want to give up all the attention they're getting on the streets. All the fake attention. Now, we telling them it's fake attention on Instagram, but they still want that attention. And they think they would have to give that up. They actually would have to give that up because no man wants his wife, any quality man wants his wife, mother of his children on Instagram with her butt crack showing, and everything else showing. They don't want to give that up. They don't want to give that attention up. And that comes from daddy issues and childhood issues and emotional issues that haven't been healed. They don't want to give that up. A woman that's secure in herself and feminine and strong and confident doesn't need, yes, strong in her femininity, and she's confident in who she is. She doesn't need Instagram for fake male validation. She doesn't need that attention. The attention from her man is if he's happy, she's happy. If he's feeling distant, she's like, uh-oh, something's up with my man. Let me find out what is up with my man. She's constantly figuring out ways to make him happy. That makes her happy. A hoe or a woman with emotional issues is trying to make everybody happy. She's community. Okay? And a lot of women just don't want to give that up. And a lot of these women are educated women. They have degrees. You know, they're successful, but at night they are the biggest hoes. They are the biggest. I have men tell me all the time that some of the easiest women they can sleep with, and I'm telling it all, sis, so that you can get help, because I'm telling you what the brothers are telling me. They telling me that the easiest women they can get with, not the ratchets, it's the educated women that's over 30. Let me say that again. The easiest women that they can sleep with, let me revise that, 35 and up. The easiest women they can sleep with are the educated sisters that got it going on, degrees, career. Some of them say they love Jesus. Those are the easiest ones to screw. All right, fellas, if I'm lying, call me out. But I'm just telling you what the brothers are telling me. That those, Nicole, they lying to you. Those are the easiest ones I can smash. And the older they get, the worse it is. If they're over 40, they're in the man's inbox just as bad. If she's over 50, just as bad. Yes, pick me, please. Yes, I love that term. Yes, the women in my movement are pick-me's. We absolutely are. We're quality women that will be picked. Have you been picked? Or have you been picked over? I don't understand the term pick-me. Usually those are women that have been picked over. Oh my goodness. I love the term pick-me. Yes, I am a pick-me. What's wrong with being a pick-me? For a man. I'm not pick-me for a woman. Like, that's crazy. All right. But a lot of women want to be taken care of. They want a man to provide and protect. But then they don't want to be domestic. They don't want to do nothing. They just want to lay up. Well, what happens after you have sex? What happens after dinner? Like you spend less time in the bed than you do actually out. So can you hold a conversation? Do you have a personality? What's special about you? They don't want to do any of that, but they want him to provide and protect. In other words, you love the benefits of a feminist society where the women have the upper hand and women are running things, but you don't want the consequences and you don't want the responsibilities that being provided and protected for bring. See, if you want a man in the house that's providing and protecting for you and your children, you can't emasculate him. You can't tell him what to do. You have to be submissive. And a lot of you won't, a lot of you don't. So, and that's why you don't get picked. It's not because you're not attractive. It's not because you're so smart. You would be so, such a good asset to what he's trying to do, and the knowledge that you've obtained and your experiences would not enhance his life and his goals. It has nothing to do with that. It's just you stupid. You're dumb. You don't want to contribute anything. You want everything given to you like a daddy. That's what daddies do, is give, 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 give. I was the only child. I was spoiled rotten. The house was run by Nicole. What does Nicole want? Well, she needs a coat. She needs shoes. And everything else worked itself out after that. And I was used to being spoiled. I have to adjust. If you're going to be a wife, you have to adjust. That everything's not about you. And now I have to train myself. No, I can't go shopping. It takes discipline. Some of you don't want to be financially disciplined. And we could tell by how much you spend on your weave, on fake hair, monthly. But we want to believe that you're financially responsible. You can't get in there and wash your own hair. Now that part I do understand. I do go to the Dominicans to get my hair done, so I completely understand that. But there are less expensive ways to handle your hair besides weave. But you do it anyway. But you want a man to come in and take care of that, and your kids, and your student loan debt, and all of that, provide and protect. Okay, so what does he get, though, besides sex, and besides a good macaroni and cheese dinner sometimes? What does he get, though? All right, admins, get the boo boos out. The boo boos, yeah, just delete them on site. Just whatever. But a lot of women don't want to do that, and I'm fussing because a lot of things that I'm fussing at you about, I've made those mistakes, and yeah, see, a lot of brothers are saying weave is a deal breaker. I'm not saying that. The brothers are saying that. I'm just saying. If a lot of black men are saying that they don't want that, why would I spend hundreds of dollars doing that? And I say I want a brother. I'm just saying, that just makes logical sense to me. But hey, you continue doing what you're doing because you know it all. A lot of women who are educated and focus on their career, they're too busy for a man. You're too busy. And even when you get married, you're too busy. You get home, you tired. Oh, my dog's are barking. Oh, so you laying on the couch. You sitting on the couch, and he's sitting on the couch, and he's looking at you like, what we eating for dinner? And it's only so long he's going to do that. A lot of men have put up with that for years. For years. But he better not cheat. Right? But he puts up with that. Okay, so when does he get, and you're saying, and I know a lot of women, men's egos are so fragile. They can't handle an educated woman. No, dear. They can't handle an educated woman like you. Because you lead with education. You think that's more important than your nurturing skills, than your femininity. And then you give horrible sex because you're tired. You just looking here the whole time. Wow, that's sexy. Woo. A man that provides and protects gets that. Right. Now he wants to sign up for a life of that. Right. No. He wants a fantasy just like you do. He wants a sexy wife that wants him. You just laying there. One potato, two potato, three potato, four, five potato, six potato, seven potato, more. And you just laying there, like, and he's just like, does she want me? But Keisha down the street, she wants your man. Oh yeah, she wants your husband, and she's been waiting for her opportunity. And if he's thirsty enough, ladies, she doesn't mind doing some things. Cause you won't, you're too tired, you too worn out. I'm just saying. And then you want to divorce him, or you want to put it on blast that he was unfaithful. You're never home. When you're home, you're tired. The kids come first. Everything comes first before him. And I'm saying, as a feminine woman, you have time. You are a total woman. You are a total woman, which is a course that I'm developing now, that teaches you how to develop all of that. So at the end of the day, you have time left over to focus on your husband. Remember, that's who you married. You didn't marry your kids, and you didn't marry your job. A lot of you are married to your job. Your job is your other man. You put more energy into that. Watch and see what I tell you. You want to ignore what I'm saying. The brothers are co-signing. I'm not. This is what brothers are telling me. They're telling me, look, I would marry her, but shoot, I have to work around her schedule. She has to fit me into her schedule. dirty dirty dishes in the sink, right? Cups and all that kind of stuff, just trash and stuff all over the living room. People come over and they like, okay. You would never expect a woman that looks pristine when she steps out the house. You come to her house, you just pop up and she lets you into that dungeon because the house is so nasty. Right. A lot of men are fearful of marrying a woman like you. Like, you look great when you leave the house, but when you come home, the bedroom's funky, the bathroom's nasty. Don't even want to sit on the stool because it ain't been cleaned and God knows when. The kitchen looks like Who Shot John. The kids are just disheveled. Their bedrooms look like they haven't been cleaned. But you busy. You making money, right? And all I'm saying is, my method, you have time for all of that. And you still get to contribute to the family pot. You still have time to be sexy and beautiful for your husband and your children. You still have, and see, as a society, we need to stop beat. See, I'm gonna have to leave y'all alone because this is about to fall. Hold on, hold on, y'all. I can't afford for my stand to fall. All right, so I may have to let you guys go in just a little bit because my stand is getting flimsy. But anyway, your car is nasty, all of that stuff, and you want a man to commit to you. And the biggest fear that a lot of men have is that they marry a woman like you, who puts everything ahead of him. So then what happens when you have children? You're going to put the children ahead of him. Everything comes before him. That is not a weak ego. That's a human. That's a man who is saying, okay, I'm willing to step up and give you what you want. But what do I get? You call that ego? If that's ego to you, you don't need a man. You need to be by yourself. Because you're selfish. And as a feminine woman, you want to be beautiful and vibrant and loving and sexual plaything for your husband. Like, that's not a bad thing to you. Like, a lot of women with issues, I don't want to be his prostitute. I don't want to be. You equate being a wife to prostitution? Sis, that's you. You need to get healed. Lord, I never feel like a prostitute. Never. All right. But a lot of women want men to step up because you'll always hear their favorite line. Men need to step up. Men need to step up. But you won't let him step up because you're in his position. Let me say that again. Men need to step up. Men need to step up. That's a key word. That's a flag phrase, everybody. When a woman says, these men need to step up, please understand she's in masculine energy. She's frustrated and angry. She's probably had a whole bunch of dusties in her life, and she's probably married to one. Who knows? But when they say step up, that's what they mean. I need a man to step up. That means she's in his spot. When you're in a man's spot, his position, how can he? Because you're in his position. You've got to be emotionally available and vulnerable enough to let him step into his position. Again, you have to learn how to choose good men. It goes back to you. You have the womb, so you make the choices. If you don't choose him, guess who miss out? He miss out. You didn't choose him. And if enough betas are rejected because they don't want to step up and be providers and protectors, then so be it. You'll see a lot of masculine men. All of a sudden, as a feminine woman, the more you get in touch with your feminine core, the more you're going to see masculine men gravitating towards you. Just, and not necessarily just in a relationship, just period. You're like, I didn't know all these men were available. They've always been there. But your energy repelled them. Your energy repels them. All right? And then the other argument they use is, well, why should I be a housewife or a stay-at-home mom for these men? All they're going to do is cheat. Men are going to cheat. Well, first of all, and see, that's me in my masculine energy. See, when they go, first of all, you expect a long litany of insults. You expect attitude. So let's get away from that. Firstly, I don't even like saying that because that's like replacing first of all. Like, first of all, typically when you hear first of all, you expect, okay, here we go. All right. But the first thing I want to add is this. When a woman leads off with a man is going to cheat, she's probably disloyal. Fellas, if a man's fellas, if you come across women who their default argument to being a wife and a mother, a stay-at-home mom and things like that, anything domestic is, but men cheat. If they lead off with that, they're probably not loyal women anyway. Those are the women that'll probably screw your friend while you're at work anyway. Good women don't lead off with men are cheaters. Good women don't lead off with that. Those are women that have been hurt, that have chose bad men or been in bad relationships. And I know there are some men out there that run amok. I get that. But how long are you going to live in that space, sis? So you're just going to be angry and mad forever? Are you going to get over that? Or like, what do you plan to do in life? Like, where are you going to go with that? And so men cheat. And so women cheat. So what's your point? I mean, if you choose to stay single because you believe that your husband is going to cheat on you, so be it. I mean, if that's what the fear that you want to live in, so be it. But that's ironic that sisters always use, well, men are going to cheat. They never bring that argument up when we talk about being feminine for non-black men. See, we only bring up cheating when we talk about being a wife and a stay-at-home mom for black husbands. But when we talk about femininity and being wives for non-black men, all of a sudden they're perfect. They're perfect. They don't have any hang-ups. Those men don't have any hang-ups. Although they watch more porn than any other group. They don't have any hang-ups. You always hear cheating associated with black men. It's like sisters have associated everything negative that the dominant society wants us to believe about black men. They've adopted those same ideologies. They believe that. It's like they spew out white supremacist talking points when talking about marriage and love with a black man. How can a black man penetrate that? He doesn't, and he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. It's 10 or 15 of you, just like you, weaving a big booty. You're a cookie cutter. It's nothing special about you. And then when you start talking about, well, men are going to cheat, men are going to cheat. But then when we flip it and start talking, if I did a live about how to date a non-black man, this would be full. Because you've believed the lies that society tells you about black men, that they don't provide and protect them. They don't want to be fathers. I make it a special habit. I go out of my way to put fatherly images on my page. Every now and then I'll throw it in there when you guys least expect it. I don't wait till Father's Day to do it. because I'm trying to change the narrative, because a lot of sisters have it in their mind that brothers don't want to be fathers. That happened to you. Your father wasn't around. Your mom didn't pick well. Whatever the situation, maybe he died. Your baby father left. All of those things have nothing to do with what's really out here. That's your story that you need to heal from. But that's not the reality for everyone. So I want to put the images of loving black fathers in front of you constantly. Because if you see it enough, you'll start to believe, okay, so black men do love their children. Because you watch so much TV. You believe everything the dominant society tells you about your man. The men that are here to provide and protect for you. You think the worst of them. You have women who make it a life's goal in life to get on social media and bash black men all day long. But I'm like, why? Is that your story? You're trying to make your story everyone else's story? Is that fair to the younger women? And it's usually women over 35 doing the most griping. They sound like little dogs. What man is going to sign up for that? If he is a quality masculine man, he's not going to sign up for that. But the beta males, they love that. Oh, they love that. Oh, they love that because they hate themselves. They don't want to step up and be a provider and protector. They are used to big mommy. So they listen to women like this who go in on brothers all day long. Well, brothers are losers. No, 2.5 million black men in America are upper class. You'll never hear that in the mainstream. Go to LinkedIn.com. It was an Asian lady named Wendy something. She just did an article on it. O'Shea, shout out to O'Shea. He did a broadcast about it. That brothers are working hard and they're making money. A lot of them are six figures. And a lot of them don't have degrees and still making good money. Over the road truck drivers, construction workers. You'll be surprised. A lot of brothers have businesses. You wouldn't even think he's a business owner because they don't have to go around and flash it. But you know what? Once they become a certain age, women just naturally gravitate towards them and they get the pick of the litter now. They get the pick of the litter now. And a lot of you don't even qualify for those brothers. You don't qualify. And yes, he has options. So it looks like to you he's a player, when in reality it's not that he's a player necessarily. He's just exercising his options. He's just going through the motions, like I told you before. He's just going through all of you all. Because you all the same. So he's just going through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday love. He's just going through it. Because y'all all the same. Nobody has really blew his mind like, wow, she's different. Wow, let me slow down. Let me pay a little more attention to this one. She's special. None of you have done that. So he just goes through the motions. And to you, it seems like he's a player. No, he's just not feeling you. And I'm just telling sisters that you can pull that, just don't lead with education, because none of that has anything to do with what men are looking for in wives. And you're mad at that because you believe what the dominant society has told you about black men, that they're dusty, they ain't out here doing nothing. I beg to differ. I meet professional men all the time. I meet professional black men all the time. And what's your next argument? That they're gay? Sis, you're watching too much TV. Get out of the house. I'm in Atlanta and I don't believe that. Now, Atlanta is a special place. It's special. I get that. But this is just one city, okay? And even here, I still see a lot of quality masculine black men. And as you get older, that number dwindles. It dwindles. But the fact of the matter is they exist. See, the whole narrative is that they don't exist. That's not true, sis. That's true for you. That's true for you. Not for everybody. And To be honest with you, when you lead with sex and education, what you've done is you've solidified your concubine status. If you don't know what a concubine is, then you need to go look that up. We need to go back to this word. I love this word, concubine. You don't want to be a wife. You don't want the status. You don't want the work that it comes with it. And you don't want the emotional work that comes with being a wife. So you're good being on the side. You actually brag about a man keeping you on the side. This is good for you because you're emotionally unavailable. You're not emotionally available to love a man. So this is good for you. And so being a concubine is a better spot for you because you're busy, you're on the go, you travel. I mean, and there's some beautiful women that are more comfortable being on the side than being in a relationship. Just gorgeous, sleeping with people that are married. And that doesn't have to be your story. It doesn't have to be. If you want to be married, you can. I don't want sisters to take away from this that I'm beating up on women and I don't believe in women's education. Cut it out. I have a degree, but you very rarely hear me bring it up. Why? Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in my movement. It doesn't matter in my social life. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. And I know that really hates. I know that a lot of you really hate that I'm saying that because you worked so hard and you thought that once you put that on your personal romantic resume that was actually going to make you stand out from the hundreds of other black women, but it doesn't. It doesn't, because the dating field is so messed up now that so many women are just like that. Masculine energy, pushing their education and pushing their accomplishments, but they're not pushing what would make them a good wife. They're not pushing the things that men want to hear to motivate them to want to slow down and focus on you instead of all the other women that they're messing with. You're kicking back what the feminists have told you that other women want to hear. Because you guys are sitting there patting each other on the back at these conferences. Yeah, girl, you got a degree. Yeah, girl, I got a master's. Yeah, girl, I got a PhD. Yeah. And that's all y'all do. None of y'all married. And then the ones that are married, you're not helping the young sisters learn how to balance being married and being successful at a career. Now, why that is, I don't know. Maybe you don't feel that the wife part is just as important as obtaining degrees and all that. I understand that. Maybe that's your story. Maybe we haven't vocalized that that's what we need. But that's what this movement is about. Is letting the women that want to be housewives and stay-at-home moms, they want to be married and they want to learn how to balance work, home, and the romantic life. They want to balance. That's what this movement is about. A lot of you've racked up so much debt in your married life, you can't afford to lose your job. You have to work. So I have plans to help you. I have a course that will help you work through that. How to be feminine and work too. I've done it. It can be done. You have to make a concerted effort to work on your femininity. It's not gonna this society, the workforce, is not congruent for femininity. It's not. It's made to be for men, and women are masculine energy are trying to force their way into corporate America. They're trying to force their way into the boardrooms. And that's good when you're young, but then what they're finding out and what they're not telling these younger sisters is that once you hit 30, 35, 40, the baby timer starts to go off, and then you get in the dating game and you're looking desperate. You're looking at every brother like, is he gonna ask me to marry him? It's like, it's not a date, it's sort of like work. And sisters, brothers can feel that energy that you just kind of like, when's he gonna pop the question? Because I'm 35, I'm pushing 30. I mean, turning 28, 29, a lot of sisters are like, oh, okay, I'm done being a hoe. Now it's time for me to settle down. And you're looking at the brothers like every brother that you come across is half decent. You looking at him like, okay, is he the one? You putting your name with his name. Okay, when he's here, I'm gonna have to move here. Or he gonna have to move there. And you every dude is he gotta marry you because you just or you just say I'm just gonna have a baby by myself because a lot of your women is there and you look at men like utilities and a wallet. That's what he is. He's sex and money. That's what you look at men for. They are accessories to your busy life. Men are not going to sign up for that. This world is smaller. Men have more options. And don't let options discourage you. Everybody has options. So don't let that word discourage you. What you should be more focused on is becoming feminine so where you can stand out from all his other options. And a lot of you don't know how to do that. You're just like everyone else. And this movement is helping women become wife material or get in touch with their feminine core, learn etiquette, all of those things that you weren't taught at home. There are a lot of things about etiquette I had to go back and study myself so that I could bring it to you in a more polished way. But I knew etiquette because my grandmother and my mother taught it to me. A lot of you never got any of that. A lot of you are walking around here talking about you want a baller, you want a suit and tie brother. But okay, so you get him. What can you do? Can you balance the checkbook? No. Can you do his accounting? Can you do his books for his business? No. Can you not get jealous at his clients because they call his phone? No. Are you secure enough that he doesn't have to be up under you 24/7 because he's out there making money? No. Can you stay in shape? Can you be beautiful? Can you be a people person so that he can entertain or bring his colleagues or co-workers by the house? Do you know how to entertain? Do you know about the wine, different wines? Do you know how to set a table? Do you know how to conduct yourself at a 5-star restaurant? Have you ever been to a 5-star restaurant? See, sisters, you don't even know what you don't know. A lot of you younger sisters have no clue. The only reason why you're close to a quality man, no, let me take that back. The only reason why you're close to any man is because you're young and beautiful and they want to smash. But he can't keep him because you don't know anything. You're just like every other woman he comes in contact with, young and old. I have men telling me that the older women are acting just ridiculous as the younger women. Because you've all bought into feminist ideology, and this movement is about helping women see that there's other options. There'll be people out here trying to imitate me because they think that femininity is the new gimmick on how to get men. They're running out of options to keep the nigga babies. They running out of options, trapping him, pretending to be feminine until they get married. They're running out of options, so they're looking for another gimmick. So you'll see a lot of women talking about femininity and throwing that word out. They don't even know what they're talking about. This is a lifestyle. This is a mindset. It's not something you can imitate. Like I told you before, a lot of people try to imitate it. It cannot be imitated. It is, you either are or you're not feminine. That's what it is. Feminine women win, whether we're married or single. It has nothing to do with marital status, race, what size you are. I know some big girls that constantly pull good men. So it has nothing to do with your size. There's a brother out there that will love all of that. Am I telling you to stay fat? No. I'm just saying you drastically decrease your dating pool the bigger you are. I'm going to keep that real. That's what it is. A lot of you have stunning faces and you do the face shot on everything because you are ashamed of how you look. So you do the face shots. But men are no good. It's the men that don't want to commit. Come on, sis. This movement is not about withholding or upholding excuses. We tackle every pink elephant. We do it all in this movement. You're not going to get this anywhere else in the world but this movement. I tackle it all. And I do it out of love. And yes, you're going to call me names. They troll me constantly. And I'm praying for them because they're the ones losing, not me. I'm not losing. I'm happy. A lot of you have never been married, worried about me. Don't worry about me. I'm good. I'm good. I'm living my best life, right? I'm living my best life. I'm so happy right now. And you need to be here. That's what femininity does for you. That's what living a good life does for you. You're not all uptight. And every time you're in a man's presence, you're intimidated because he's thorough. I'm not intimidated by a thorough man. I'm intrigued. I'm like, let me get to know this brother. And I don't believe that they're so far in between that I'm like, oh, he thorough. Oh my God, there might not be another one. I don't believe that. I believe there are a lot of thorough brothers out here. They're not all in suit and ties. Some of them have jeans and boots on because that's what type of work they do. So, sisters, the whole point of this video is that going forward, college is great. I went. Having a degree is great. I have one. But when it comes to attracting masculine men who provide and protect, you don't want to give them the same energy that you want. You want to give them the energy that they're seeking, and that's feminine energy. Now, am I saying that educated women can't be feminine? Get out of your feelings. I'm not saying that. I'm educated and I'm feminine. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying if you have a career, you can't be feminine. I tell the story of my ex-husband. When we met, he said, look, this is how much money I make. Which I hope you choose, then that's fine. You want to be a stay-at-home mom when we have children? That's fine. Just understand this is how much I make. So I had a choice. Either live within his means or develop passive income. While I was young, I didn't know anything about passive income. Unbeknownst to me, I tried to sell Mary Kay. That wasn't my thing. People that know me well know that wasn't my thing. But that didn't work. But what I'm saying is he gave me the option. And he was hoping that I chose stay-at-home mom. And I went back to work and I tried to do that. A lot of women want providers and protectors. You can so have that. You can so go to school and get a masculine man to provide and protect for you. But understand, if you're doing so much of his job, then what are you going to appreciate him for? Well, you're going to lose respect for him. The more you do his job, the more you're going to lose respect for him. You're going to resent him. And men don't want to be resented. And they don't want to be disrespected. They don't want to be seen as sex and money either. They want to be seen as human beings with a heart and with feelings. And the women who don't get that will be the ones that stay single. Those will be the ones that he knocks off on a Friday night and a Saturday. Some of you are going to be getting calls after this live so he can roll through after the game. Because that's what you are to him. If you was his main chick, you would be with him right now while he's watching the game. See? If you was his main chick, you would probably make wings and stuff for him and his boys because you want him to feel comfortable in his space that he's worked for. See, that is the game that you're missing. See, most of you want to go out and be sexy and yeah, a good woman is cool with just her man. And a lot of you are not ready for that, right? Decide what you want, sis. Decide what you want. You want to stay single? Stay single. I'm just saying, be single and feminine. And if you want to be married, brush up on the femininity. I promise you, your husband will be thanking me. I promise you. I promise you. I won't lead you wrong. I promise you. Right? And if you have a husband, and I'm going to give you some free game here, and then I'm done. If you have a husband and you feel like he's a beta male, and you want him to step up, oh, I hate that phrase. Oh, God, I hate that. Oh, it's like nails on a chalkboard to me right now. Oh, I'm so tired of hearing that. You want him to be a provider and a protector, then you're going to have to step back, sis. You're going to have to step back and you're going to have to trust the process. And if he's on board with that, because he's probably going to be in shock. at the fact that you're stepping back and you're letting him step up. He's going to be in shock, but you can so do that. And if he's on board with that, because see, a lot of men don't want to lead, and that's a bona fide beta. If he doesn't want to lead, sis. But there are some brothers that have been waiting for you to have that conversation with him. Like, I'm going to take less hours so I can focus on you and the kids. He's looking like, am I being punked? Oh my God. Woo, he's been waiting years to hear you say that. A lot of you married ladies. A lot of women are dating men and you seem so busy, and he would not mind marrying you, but you kind of too masculine energy. And if you step back into your femininity, he's, first of all, he's going to be in shock. So allow the shock. But once it sets in that she's serious, see, you have to be consistent. This isn't a game. Like I said, femininity is a lifestyle. Once he sees this is who you really are, you might actually get a ring. I just gave y'all free game. All right, it's been real. I'm going to go on over to O'Shea Jackson page. He's going to be kicking it off with Laura Movement. Those of you who are not in YouTube land, you need to be, because you're missing a lot of game. Free game from the brothers. Those brothers in Negro Manosphere are the truth, giving you candid game, and you'll be surprised at all the game that they give the women for free, and the sisters don't get it. I just don't get it. They are so masculine energy that they are in competition with men. They don't want to come off the job because they want to stay in competition with the man. They mad. Is it penis envy? Like, why do you want to compete with men? Go on, honey. Worry about the mortgage. I got you. I got you. I'll holler at you tonight in the bedroom, at the dinner table. Yeah, you know. That's femininity. That's making his life better. And any smart man is going to commit to that. He's going to want that type of energy, not the woman that's going to box him on every turn. A lot of men you have in your lives, a lot of married women, and then I'm done, I promise, for real. A lot of women have masculine men as husbands, but you won't let him step into his position because you're there. You're there. You're fighting him. He was masculine when you met him. He was masculine for all these years, but he's just trying to keep the peace with you, so he just kind of like deals with you. But he's been masculine the whole time. And if you just step back and just let him step up, he's going to step up and he's going to be the man you want. But you have to trust the process. You don't want to give up control. You want to be the boss. You don't want to be submissive. You don't want to see him shine because you're in control, because you are in competition with him. A lot of you don't want to see your husband succeed because you're in competition with him. Okay, I gave up too much game. Thank you. Good night. I'll see you guys later. Oh, good night. Now, how do I stop this? See, that's why. Oh, how do I stop it though? Unbelievable, like. This is crazy. How do I do that? Good night. God, I hate iPad. This sucks.